Now, with the festive season fast approaching, many of us will be taking to the roads, heading to our holiday destinations and to be with friends and family. But that time of the year is also associated with high road deaths due to reckless driving and violation of traffic rules. Now, joining us in the studio, we have the MEC for Transport in Limpopo, MEC Dickson Masemola, to talk about this and also talk about the October Transport Month and issues related to this portfolio. Thank you so much for traveling all the way to come and be here this morning.
Very good morning, and morning to all your viewers throughout the country.
The President launched a National Transport Month at Heidelberg Way Bridge and talking about the different aspects of transport: rail transport, road transport, air transport, sea transport. Which modes of transport are more used in Limpopo?
Well, Limpopo, as you know, the character of the province is both urban and as well as rural, but in the main, the used mode of transport is road, but to a certain extent as well there's rail, but also we do have an airport in town of Polokwane called Polokwane International Airport. We do as well have air traffic, but in the main we're using the roads of the province to crisscross the landscape, going into various places of destination, either for social or economic use by many road users.
The President also used this opportunity, this launch, to also launch this year's Arrive Alive campaign. How's Limpopo interacting with that message?
Well, of course, following the launch by the President at Heidelberg, we did as well host our own provincial launch in Polokwane, just outside the city, under the national theme of Gushubile Guraf, road safety, Arrive Alive. We actually had a very successful launch through which I did indicate very publicly the intentions of the provincial government led by our Premier, but in my functional area of work, that we're going to be intensifying joint operations, because I think you're quite aware that as MEC of Safety and Transport, I'm responsible for a JCPS cluster in the province. So all those safety units of government and organs, we have been able to come together and agreed on a very clear program of action that is going to be guiding the law enforcement officers on the ground from now up until the end of the festive season, so that we are able to intensify, road safety, road management, but above them all as well, make sure that road users in the province are able to adhere to the do's and the don'ts, the actual road maintenance rules and regulations for their safety, but also for the safety of many other road users in the province. We
could talk about Gushubile Guraf as just a theme, but it's a reality in Limpopo. Some of the most horrific accidents have taken place on roads like Muloto Road. What awareness campaigns are you running in the province itself to counter these? I mean, we're looking at, and I'm going to ask our producers to put up some of the reasons for road accidents. Looking at the 2018-2019 festive period, more than 1,612 people dying on the country's roads, and Limpopo contributing quite significantly to that number. What are you working on to reverse this picture?
Well, it's true that in the recent past few months as a province, we did experience serious fatalities and as well as carnages on the roads of the province, where we have lost many people. And at this point in time, once again, I would like to pass a message of condolences to the families of the lost ones, but also may their souls rest in peace. Going forward, as a department and as a province, responding to this particular matter, we have agreed that we're going to be seriously, intensifying law enforcement on the roads of the province. But I think above them all as well, you are quite aware that, road safety is not only a singular responsibility of the department. It is a collective responsibility, if not a joint responsibility by us and as well as various road users. It be either motorists, cyclists, or pedestrians. Now, we're going to be making sure that through these joint operations, together with the police, conduct a lot of roadblocks, as we have already started in the province, ensure very serious stop and searches throughout the province. We're going to be intensifying education, because it is very key that the conscious level of motorists have got to be deepened, if not raised, for them to understand that their safety, their arrival at their destinations, equally important. In as much as we've got to enforce the rules on the road, they must also become responsible behind the wheels on their various journeys to wherever they are going. So we're going to be intensifying that aspect of education, and as well as public awareness campaigns. We have already started in various ways throughout the length and breadth of the province. So we are actually making it very difficult going forward for irresponsible, reckless motorists and many other road users to continue the manner in which they did, because we have realized that human behavior, like the RTMC has already validated this point through their research, that almost 72% of the accidents on the roads of the country and our province in particular is precisely because of this predominant cause, human behavior. People choose to become irresponsible behind the wheels, enjoying their machines, and therefore they think that they own the road. It does not belong to other road users. So the point we need to emphasize is for them to understand that road maintenance, road use, we've got to share this space together as road users, so that we become very tolerant to one another. We become very honest on the roads. We drive with care, with love, with understanding. But
also be law-abiding citizens on the road.
Exactly. I think that's what we've got to, and through the education and training, that's what we've got to work on the conscious level of our people. Rekindle their understanding that supremacy of the law reigns supreme to the affairs of the public in this country and our province in particular.
MEC, the province is not only in terms of road usage, it's not just a national road or provincial road. Limpopo also serves as a link to borders like Botswana, Zimbabwe, Mozambique. So the control of traffic is also a border issue in Limpopo. What are the conversations there?
It's true that we border three countries. We border Botswana, we border Zimbabwe, and as well as Mozambique. We are a strategic destination to many South Africans. It be either through coming for religious reasons, through the pilgrimages of the major churches in the Republic.
A thoroughfare into South Africa.
Yes, and also we are a gateway to Africa. We are a strategic transit to the rest of the continent. And that is the reason why road maintenance, law enforcement in the province is a very serious matter, because we're handling huge volumes of traffic, and as well as many other road users. We are very advanced at this point in time, particularly with regard to the October month, but also towards the festive season, with respect to how do we strengthen the ports of entries management. We've already had discussions with the South African Defence Force at their secondary level, when they work together with the police, both traffic and as well as South African police services. That program of action, particularly at the ports of entry, Beitbridge, and I think you are quite aware that Beitbridge is second to OR Tambo as the busiest port of entry in the Republic, and also Groblersdal Bridge towards Botswana. Those areas of exit and entrance into the country, they do also, of course, receive the necessary attention out of this plan that will be putting together. The past few days, we had a very serious discussion with Home Affairs, with SARS, with Defence Force,
the stakeholders,
with the stakeholders within the JCBS cluster, to prepare ourselves for a very serious operation come festive season, but also in between now as we drive the October month program of action.
I know I introduced you as the MEC for transport, but officially it's transport and community safety, which extends your reach into the safety and policing area as well. What are the most troubling crimes that are taking place in Limpopo? We know you've got that Tsoratsotsi project that's currently underway. How is it panning out?
Well, I think firstly, let me say that at the national level, you are quite aware that Limpopo, comparatively speaking, it is said to be a best province with regard to safety and security, comparatively speaking, with the rest of the country. But notwithstanding the fact that
we've had some horrific crimes
within the province, in our various policing areas, we do have prevalence of very serious worrying matters of crime and criminality in the area of murder. We have seen a new phenomenon of political killings of our leaders. And I think we're working very hard around that with National Office to try to get to the bottom of the matter so that those perpetrators are brought to book. We see serious matters of sexual offenses within the province, issues of stock theft, but also drugs and Nyaobe in particular, is a very serious matter. And there are areas which constitute flashpoints, if not hotspots. That gives me sleepless nights as the MEC responsible for safety and security in our province.
But can we assure the residents of Limpopo and South Africans in general that you are working on it? Because drug infiltration is a big problem in the country.
And that is the reason why you have just said that after analyzing this reality, together with the South African Police Service and the PC in particular, I suggested that we need to launch a very aggressive project called Operation Swaratsotsi. And this process was a direct response to deal with matters of problems around Thoyando, Mankweng, Mahwelering, Janefers, Beggarsford, and other areas of flashpoints, including Bela Bela, where Nyaobe is highly infested in that community. And I think through that project, we are making progress, and I'm quite certain that it is finding expression in the policing areas of clusters and as well as police stations. We are embarking on an aggressive mobilization program because we need, above other things, serious civilian intelligence. People must come out, tell us exactly where these drugs, so that we cut not only the distributors, but we go straight to the source, and those who transmit, who transport these substances that kill the cognitive development of our young people.
Just a quick one, MEC, we have to wrap up our conversation, unfortunately. Thanks, but when we talk about Transport Month, there's an assumption that we're only talking about road transport. But we're also talking about opportunities within the sector. South Africa is a country beset by high levels of unemployment. What kind of opportunities lie for the people of Limpopo in this sector?
I think you are quite aware that Limpopo is the best kept secret of the country. The South Africa of tomorrow is in Limpopo, precisely because of the strategic mineral deposits that stretches the landscape of our province. So South Africa of tomorrow is in Limpopo, and therefore roads maintenance, engineering and design is what we're going to be embarking on to open new routes, new opportunities. And I think it's very key for people in this country and our province in particular to capitalize on those special economic zones of Musina, of Beggarsford, the economic spin-offs that are going to be triggered in Le Palali. Rail transport is one of those, and I think you have heard the president indicating that we're going to be looking at the possibility of a bullet train that connects from Cape Town via Pretoria up to Musina. That rail line and that busy bullet train, once it kicks off the ground, it is indeed going to bring huge opportunities. And I'm quite certain that the people of our province are looking at these realities. The road between Beggarsford and as well as Polokwane is a strategic area. The SEZ, Makado, Zoutpansberg economic opportunities, they are there around the Groblersdal area, given the mineral strategic assets that are there. So there are huge opportunities which I'm looking forward to our people coming on board. I suspect
we could go on and on, but unfortunately we're time tied. Let's thank you again for making the time this morning.
Thank you so much.